constituting 96.7% of all businesses. However, a recent report by Smidden highlighted that the number of MSMEs had dropped by approximately 2 million between 2017 and 2021, largely due to the impact of COVID and other challenges faced by small businesses worldwide. He told a confectionery artisan, Tayo, in Lagos State, told Punch newspaper that things are difficult due to the present economic situation. I cannot adequately afford to run my diesel generator to power the bakery. At the beginning of the year, I was buying diesel at 220 naira per litre, but now the same litre of diesel is selling for 800 naira, which is almost 4 times higher. According to him, he sleeps most of the time in the factory with a few workers, so whenever there is a public power supply, he would utilize it to work in order to cut costs.
I think that's the only alternative for most businesses. If not, you won't be able to stay in business. You can imagine the increase in the price, 220 to 800. How do you think you're going to be able to spread that cost across your commodity or your product that you're selling? The price will definitely increase, and the market for it will also go down because there's going to be a reduction in patronage. People will not be able to afford due to the lack of increase in their purchasing power. And that is the biggest problem that we are being faced with in this country. If at all we have, for instance, if we had a steady power supply, you wouldn't have even been bothering yourself saying, I need to buy diesel for 800 naira per litre. And if you are running a big generator, you know how many liters of diesel you need before you even try to power up that generator. It's very, very difficult for businesses. Even here that we're talking here in this radio station, the cost we incur in buying diesel is something mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
We run into millions at this point, but you also have to look at the fact that MSMEs contribute a lot. You're looking at 39 approximately, let's just for the lack of just because it's a heavy number to pronounce, so let's say approximately 39 million MSMEs in Nigeria. This is from indices gotten from 2021. We don't know what 2023 would look like with this, fuel subsidy removal and all of that. But you have the bulk of your hiring power, the bulk of people who hire more labor, right? You have the bulk of that from MSMEs. One would think that we prioritize them and ensure that the cost of doing business is sort of reduced, or there's a policy made to aid them in doing their businesses, because we know that in terms of job creation, the MSMEs segment creates more jobs than any other segment of enterprise here in Nigeria. And then this is because they can set up a small business with a little amount of money. So you need to understand that when these people are working, they have to have a very conducive environment. 1, electricity. 2, availability of supplies, right? How readily available. I use cake a lot because I bake, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because to get some materials for baking is absolutely crazy. Sometimes I have to order from outside the country, and then delivery, the cost of delivery is ridiculous. Something worth about maybe $17, right? When you're done doing all the calculations, shipping and everything, it's almost 40 something dollars. It's crazy. Something worth $17, at the end of it you're paying $43 in the end. It's absolutely crazy. So we need to start looking at ways that MSMEs can actually thrive in Nigeria, because they hire a lot of our working population. That's where the bulk of them, that's where it lies. So we need to pay more attention to our MSMEs.
All right, still talking SMEs, and let's take a look at this one. It's also on the Punch newspaper that says fee hike. POS operators protest as federal government vows heavy sanction. That is, point of sale operators in the country have protested plans by the federal government to sanction them for allegedly colluding to hike their transaction charges. This came as the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission asked POS operators to desist from any move to hike POS transaction charges. According to the Commission, it is currently investigating price fixing attempts by POS agents and will sanction them if they are found wanting. It said to the extent that any combination of undertakings, including the Association of Mobile Money of Nigeria, indeed met, agreed, or decided to impose uniform or coordinated fees and tariff for services, this announcement should serve to ensure such undertakings cease and desist from that arrangement or similar discussion and conduct. The development followed recent announcement by POS agent under the aegis of the Association of Mobile Money and Bank Agents in Nigeria, Lagos chapter, to increase their transaction charges. According to the association public relations officer for Lagos chapter, Stephen Adewoye, POS agents now have new price lists in the state and are working to create a task force to ensure the changes. When enforced, customers will need to pay 100 naira for withdrawal from 1,000 to 2,400 naira and 200 naira for transaction or withdrawal of within 3,500 to 4,000 naira. I think we reeled out this was it yesterday?
Yes,
yeah,
it was
we
yesterday.
talked about it and we also shared our own perspective. So now government are coming in to intervene in the whole issue, because we highlighted the fact that yesterday that Nigerians' purchasing power has not increased. Yes, we know that these POS operators go to the same market where things have gone, the prices of things have gone up astronomically, but so also other Nigerians patronize the same market without having commensurate increase in their purchasing power. So we have to also put that into consideration, and now government is trying to see how they can
clamp down on
that particular move. Let's maintain status quo and hopefully we will get better over time.
Yes, so talking about the FCCPC, in a statement signed by the executive vice chairman, said that noted that price fixing is against the law and distorts the market, prevents innovation, efficiency, and it impacts customers negatively. This is the reason why they're trying to ensure that the POS guys, Amban, right, they don't go ahead with their planned increase in their transaction charges. But you also have to look at the fact that everything is going up and they need to make money as well. So yes, we have to now find a middle ground. That's where we need to get to, a middle ground, so that POS agents are not put out of work because of the high cost of production or high cost of business, right? So we need to check that.
All right, still on that same story, there is this citation from the FCCPA rather. It said the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018 recognizes, indeed, and encourages the prerogative of businesses to organize in and as trade associations for acceptable person applicable standards and best practices, as well as a measure of self-regulation within the profession or trade. However, the same FCCPA copiously and extensively limits the scope and extent of such collaboration, particularly to exclude coordination with respect to scope or supply of services and price of services. This is also coming on the heels of this particular information, but we have dealt with this, I think, to a great extent that we should not overflock it. We'll just move to other stories that we have.
All right, we're looking at Nigeria exports 23 billion naira electricity. Local consumers lament outage. Nigeria exports 23 billion naira electricity. Local consumers lament outage. Power consumers on Wednesday kicked against the export of about 23.13 billion naira worth of electricity from Nigeria to some neighboring countries in 2022, despite the widespread darkness witnessed by many Nigerian communities. The latest data on the remittances by international customers obtained from the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission (NERC) in Abuja show that Nigeria continued its export of electricity to the republics of Benin and Niger, as well as some special categories of consumers as well. It was observed that the total value of exported electricity from Nigeria in the whole 2022 was about 23.5 billion naira, with the official rate of 461 naira to a dollar. That was as of last year. But the international consumers remitted only 15.1 billion naira, leaving us with a deficit of 8.4 billion naira during that period under review. While the special customers did also not remit 792.6 million naira in the same period. So we know that exporting electricity is a way for Nigeria to make money, right? But at a point where that business venture is not becoming as lucrative as it ought to be, because this is 2023. How is it possible that the international consumers have not yet paid the remaining 8 billion naira? 8.4 billion. This is not million. 8.4 billion naira that we could have used to go and set up another power plant.
Yeah,
we could have done that.
At times some of these decisions or moves I try to wrap up my head to understand the rationale behind it. Although you could say there are international trade and also international relation that exists between one country and another. We don't have sufficient power supply in the country. We don't have enough, but we are still giving it out to another country where they are even struggling to pay their own part of the bargain. And also, it makes me to recall at a time when former President Muhammadu Buhari bought vehicles and donated to Niger Republic. You remember that time?
Yes,
all of those things we need it here, but you give it out. I don't know whether it's because of the big brother position that Nigeria portray in Africa. That's why we're doing some of those things.
You know the vibe it gives me, Aliyu. It gives me the vibe of a man who takes care of everyone outside his family, but doesn't take care of his family. That's the picture it paints in my head, where you have a man that spends lavishly. When you hear people talking about your father, you're like, this man is a good man, very generous. But the people at home do not feel that generosity. So at one point, we need to understand that businesses are struggling because we cannot provide the cost of. Do you know the cost of installing a solar system in your house? Or for your business? It's a lot of money. It's a lot. And businesses are even struggling just to put their head above water. So at what point are we going to prioritize electricity? It's a shame that in 2023 we are still talking about campaign promises bordering on electricity. We shouldn't even be talking about this. People are celebrating years of uninterrupted power supply. We should be on that level as well. At least, can we have a target of celebrating at least 1 month? Or 1 week.
Let's start with a week.
1 week.
Let's start with a week before
uninterrupted.
We get to 1 month. And funny enough, the cost, that is the investment on electricity from the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo up till now, if you look at that cost, you could easily say a lot of mystery engulf that particular sector, because we should have gone out of issue of power. We should have solved power with
we should have moved on
with the money that has been spent in that particular sector is something else. So I don't really understand the way things are run in this country. However, we will be a bit optimistic, and let's see what the current administration will do with regard to that. Hopefully the president will set up his cabinet, and in couple of days to come we will see the cabinet and let him hit the ground running in that aspect. He has hit the ground running, and Nigerians are running already helter-skelter in so many aspects, but that's what they like trying to do. But let's see what we will have with them in terms of power generation and also distribution, because at times not the generation alone, the distribution is also key. We may generate enough or a significant quantity of power, but the distribution also is another big challenge. All right, let's take a look at this one more headline before we switch onto the other segment. Investors rake in 441 billion naira as stock market 441 billion naira at the close of the day's trading session. The all share index ASI went up 1.33% to 61,523.57 points by close of trading, a significant improvement to the previous day's record of 60,715.04 points. In a sharp contrast to the previous day's trading, the market's value of shares increased by 441 billion, that is 1.33%, to 33.5 trillion naira. This was a significant upward movement from the previous sessions which was about 33.06 trillion. Shares worth 10.31 billion naira were exchanged against the 12.21 billion naira in the previous session. The number of deals decreased from the 12,194, recorded on Tuesday to 9,815 deals. And Len Africa, Gold Brew, and Chelaram led the best performing stocks with gains of 9.97%, 9.95%, and 9.77%. That is, Len Africa got 9.97%, Gold Brew 9.95%, while Chelaram got 9.77%. Then NSL Tech, M Benefit, and Lasaco led the losers. All three stocks depreciated by 10% respectively. By volume, 846.3 million shares were traded, which was lower than Tuesday's volume of 1.11 billion. This showed a decrease in the level of trading activity. The top three traded stock were FBNH, Transcorp, and Access Corp, with trading volume of 89.24 million for FBNH, that is FBN Holding, and also Transcorp with 89.23 million, while Access Corp with 85.91 million units. And by value, the top three traded stock were FBNH with 1.65 billion naira, Access Corp with 1.54 billion naira, and UBA with 749.77 million. Bellwether stock of Dangote Cement, Airtel Africa, and Bua Foods maintained their prices in the market.
All right, so we're having a lot of talk about stock and all of that. I'm going to let Aliyu explain that because he understands it.
This
a
one
lot
is
better.
Self-explanatory because we just gave them the details, what you need to know, the top gainers and the top losers, and those who maintain stock. And you could see an increase in some part of it, while in some session we have a decrease, especially considering what happened or what traded on the floor of the stock exchange on Tuesday, and as opposed to what happened yesterday. So I think
I think what a lot of people need to understand is that Forex is different from stock trading. Yes,
yeah.
They're different.
Yeah, they're different.
All right, I just wanted to put that out there.
This has to do with shares.
Yes, because sometimes people mix it up.
Okay.
Yes, some people do that. All right, we're moving on to the next segment of the show where we're talking about how to increase profitability for your business, because we know that profitability is one of the most important metrics of business success, and it also helps to determine whether a business is likely to grow. So if you want your business to grow, you're maybe a small business owner or you have a micro business, whatever the case may be, and you want to find out how to grow your business in terms of profitability. You have to keep listening. After this break, we'll take a breather, and I will come back with ways to increase your profitability
and
as
you
a
don't
business.
want to miss that.
Exactly. Keep it locked.
Add us to your favorites. Add us to your favorites.
Add us to your favorites.
And keep your browser locked.
Keep your browser locked. Yeah, this station's got soul.
Oh my God. Voice of the People, 96.1 FM, Abuja, Abuja, Abuja.
It's easy to cover the news, but what we are doing is hard.
Front Page Review.
Front Page Review gives you the story beyond the headlines, the news from every angle.
Now let's start the review with this day. The lead story, Bury zoning and bury Nigeria.
The story on top of the lead, terror threats. Sanwo-Olu summons emergency security meeting. Last but not the least is the story on the window. At 70, Buhari extols JC Danjuma's years of service.
Join the Front Page Review at 7 a.m. every weekday on VOP 96.1 FM.
As a sharp business owner, you know you need to advertise your business, right? Don't lie, you need the advert. So what better platform to advertise than with VOP 96.1 FM? Our rates are friendly and our reach extensive. Go ahead, take that bold step and advertise that business today. Give us a call on 080-5761-9720. That is 080-5761-9720. Visit us at our office at number 4 Ogbomosho Street, Romeo's Pizza Building, Area 8, Gariki. Or send us an email on abuja@voiceofthepeople.ng.
The hustle never stops.
Kind of 4,000. I pay for 4,000.
The grind must
It
continue.
seems that yes, I would like to buy something.
Regardless of how hard life gets, take a break from the norm. Let's face life issues head on. From alcoholism to obesity, entertainment and lifestyle.
Surgery does still go wrong.
Everything that matters on Matters. Mondays to Fridays, 12 to 3 p.m. on Voice of the People, Abuja. Because your voice matters.
Baba Sani, remember that my daughter that will be getting married I told you about, and I'm sure that the cow I've asked you to keep is very ready. I don't want to hear story.
I don't tell am say make you no worry. If na cow I get am.
The problem I have with you people is that you don't understand the business. How can you Okoko want to go and buy car? You now go and order from him.
My Igbo, whenever I want to buy meat, I usually consult our friend. Why are you not feeling that?
But I'm supposed to buy the distributor. That is business.
Are you the seller for the cow? You get am for the cow? Now your own?
Both of you should not quarrel.
I am not here to quarrel. More with high chief. Talking to you is part of my introduction. Look at this bombastic element.
Journey with us to visit 3 troublesome friends. From the east, we have the money and container man.
Yes, it is me now. High chief, mire wiro nkizi na libo. You get me?
To the west, we have a man that eats only meat and loves Owambe.
I still remain your one and only Otumba Owonikoko Agbabiaka.
All the way to the north, we have Baba Sani with his 40 children and 4,000 cows and still counting.
You are my people. Sunana Baban Asan. Na mi bonam po Asan and I get them for plenty cows.
Listen to Era Matters only on VOP 96.1 FM every weekday by 10:30 a.m.
On Sports Lounge, the best of tennis, athletics, basketball, golf, Formula One, cricket, rugby.
Strap on your helmet and get ready to face off.
Cycling, boxing, and the king of them all, football.
Kevin De Bruyne! Good to one!
Sport Lounge, every weekday from 5 p.m. on Voice of the People 96.1 FM, Abuja. Sport Lounge, your perfect guide into the world of sports.
You can take the boy out of radio, but you can't take the radio out of the boy, can you?
Broadcasting in high definition.
Voice of the People, 96.1 FM.
Welcome back. This is still Voice of the People, 96.1 FM. You're listening to Business Around Town, letting you know how exactly you can increase profitability in your business.
And in case you just joined, you are right on time.
Yes. We're talking money, right? And everyone loves to make profit. So just in case you're wondering, what exactly is profitability? Profitability is is the ability of your business to produce more money than it's spending. So when you're producing, you're getting more money than you're spending. That is profitability of a business. So why exactly is increasing that ability to make more money than you're spending? Why is it important? It's important because profit generation allows businesses to continue to grow and compete within their industries. So increasing profitability also helps your business to secure funding from financial institutions. You get, so if you're a small business, the more you make money, they see that you are a profitable business venture for them to give you loan.
Yes.
Because they know that you would be able to pay back because you're making more money than you're spending. You're consistently for a certain amount of time.
No financial firm would want to have much bad debts.
Yes, exactly. So if you want to find out how to increase your profitability, then you have to get a pen and a paper, open your ears, clean it if possible, and listen. So yesterday we talked about managing costs.
Yeah.
We know that cost is one of close management of your cost can drive your profitability. Many businesses can find some wastage to reduce. It's important not to cut costs at the expense of the quality of your products and your services.
Very essential.
You know what businesses do is they start. There's one biscuit that I want to drag them, but that will be publicity for them. But the point is, they start out at a certain rate and then reduce the quality of the biscuit just because they are trying to meet economic realities. There are some ways to do that without dropping the quality of your service, quality of your product. And we talked about looking at the key cost areas. Number one, supply. Are you getting the best deals from your supplier? When, let's say, you are a chef and you usually get stuff from the market, or you usually get stuff from, maybe you have a supplier of meat. Do you have the best deal with that meat
supplier
guy? Yes, do you have the best deals? Is there a way that you can do, you know what, I can be cooking certain sort of like a barter system where you say, okay, I can cook this amount of food for you to bring meat worth so amount of money for me. Do you get? So it's not just you paying money. You have an arrangement that ensures that you can actually reduce costs, especially from the supply angle. There's also the finance angle. Do you need to review your finance facilities, right? Are you using any loans or overdrafts effectively? Do you understand? So you have to also look at your finance facilities. We checked out premises, your space at wherever it is, your store, your office, wherever you are doing your work. Have you examined whether you are getting the most out of the space that you have? Are there more efficient ways to use your premises? Could you sublet some unused space to other people? Exactly, that's what we talked about yesterday. Production also. Have you assessed whether you can cut waste and lower the cost of your materials? Check that out and see ways that you can cut the cost in that aspect.
All right, today we will take a look at review your offer. That is the first thing we will look into today. So look carefully at what you offer, who you sell it to, and at what price, and see if you can make improvements. She talked about something of a biscuit that she wouldn't want to mention their name because she's going to be giving them publicity. So actually, what I'm trying to say in essence is that you can actually improve on your goods, or you increase the price and maintain the standard. But one thing that some businesses do, especially in Nigeria, is that they will reduce the quantity or quality of the products.
No, the one that annoys me,
increase the price.
So it's very crazy.
Yeah.
Why can't you increase the price and just
maintain
the quality
and quantity as well?
Even if you want to drop the quantity, let's say your biscuits, there were 4 sticks before, and you want to reduce it to 3. Is it possible that you can make the sizes of the 3 slightly bigger than they used to be? So it was 4 before, now it's 3, but the 3 sticks of biscuits, they're thicker, a little thicker than they used to be, and it's the same quality.
Because
so
you increase price.
Yes.
The
so
price
can we have that?
The cost.
Yes. Can we have that instead of you just dropping the quality, dropping the amount? I'm paying though. Because I really like that biscuit. Anyway, still talking about looking carefully at what you offer. There's pricing considerations like we talked about. It's a good idea to review your prices regularly. It's very, very good to do that. Check out what exactly is attainable in the marketplace. People that are in that same business with you. For example, you make biscuits. So what do people around you, what are they selling their their biscuits at? What price are they selling it at? And then you also have to look at those people. Do they have a bigger production? Do they have a bigger production than you do? Do they make more than you do? You also have to look at all that. However, it's wise to test any price rises before you make them permanent, right? It's better to test it and see what your clients think. Sometimes you can do a survey. You can ask them. You can ask especially if you have a client base, right? Clientele, you have a list of your clients that, your regular clients. So you can send them a mail or send them a survey like, okay, I want to do this. What do you think? Would you prefer I reduce the number of biscuits or increase the cost? What would you prefer? You ask your clients because they are the ones you're selling to. They are the ones that buy your products regularly. So you conduct a market survey. Find out what they would prefer as opposed to just changing things, and people are shocked, taken aback by 2 sticks of biscuits inside something that was 4 before. And the annoying thing is the nylon is still the same. The nylon is the same size, so you now see 2 sticks of biscuits swimming inside one large leather. What is this? You also talk about finding your best customers as well. When you're talking about reviewing your offer, you have to find your best customers. What do I mean by this? It's not just your price list that affects your profitability, right? The type of customers that you're selling to also makes a difference. Let me tell you, it's not everyone that buys your product that is your customer. It's not everyone that makes an inquiry about your business that is your customer. So there's a Pareto principle. It's often known as the 80-20 rule, and you can check that out and find out how it can apply to your business. So basically, it suggests that around 80% of your profit is gained from 20% of your products or your services. The same percentage of your profits is often also gained from the same percentage of your customers. So focusing on your most profitable customers, even if it means letting go of the less profitable ones, it could just help boost your productivity, so long as it is handled with care.
Yeah,
right?
even though this principle also has its own criticism.
Downside,
yes, it has its own downside. Many people will tell you that, yes, this is telling you that you should hold 80% of your profit might come from 20% of your clientele base. That means you have your regular customers. Those are the ones that you're going to hold tight much more than those passive customers. But this time around, you should also know that sometimes the ones that come, new customers may come, and you don't know what they will offer. You don't know the kind of relationship you're going to build over time with them. They may become more important than some who fall within that category of your 20%. So you have to be very careful in terms of balancing that equation. That is some of the downside of that particular principle.
But when it comes to this particular Pareto principle, right, it's a matter of sensitivity.
Yeah.
You as a business owner, you understand the way your business is set up. I mentioned that I bake, right? So most of the times what I've noticed is clients who tend to stress me the most, stress in terms of how much they're paying for the cake, how much time I would have to spend baking their cake, stressing in terms of how much time they call just to check, Gesiri, have you baked my cake? They send a message, Gesiri, how far now? Don't forget the birthday is coming up, can you come? There's a difference, right? When you have a customer who says, okay, you know what, take this 20,000 naira, bake me this cake. It's supposed to be delivered on this day, on this day, on this day. There are some customers that you have given them price. They beat it down. The thing they've beaten is blue-black. Something that was 20,000, we've given you. You now collected 12,000 naira for that particular cake, even though that is not a smart business move. But because of maybe friendship or how long that client has been with you, you collect that 12,000 naira, and then you are stressed out trying to meet up with that particular order. Not everyone is your client. Someone like me, I have decided to let people like that go because I understand how my business runs. I understand that the people who tell me, you know what, I have this amount of money, can you make something worth that amount and send to me? There are people like that. Some others, they will want to disturb your life. So you as a person, you understand the way your business runs and you understand the way your clients are.
And on the flip side, on a jocular term this time, but it's something that I've heard over and over again. People saying the clients that doesn't even pay more. Now
Now
then they
then they
stress you
stop you
pass.
pass.
As in, not in almost every business, be it event planning, this baking, tailoring, every other business. That is what I get to hear. I don't know. Maybe we'll carry out a research or survey
maybe
in
it has
that
to
regard.
be
But that is
services.
it.
It might have to do with services more. Let me put it like this. I think it applies to every business. What am I even saying?
Yes,
It applies to every
I've heard
single
people saying this countless times that the people where you give you small money, and then they give you big trouble. Those that pay you well, they don't even stress you. Like, that's how it is. I don't know the secret
absolutely
behind
crazy.
that. Probably we'll carry out a survey and know more about this particular theory or assumption.
Yes. So, can you sell more to your best customers? Yes. So you're looking at trying as much as you can, still following the 80-20 rule, where 80% of your profit comes from 20% of your clientele. What that means is you have 100% clientele. When you look at your money, 80% of it comes from 20% of that client. So that 20% now, those your big customers, can you sell more to them? Can you find a way to offer them more value for their money? Can you offer them more to get more money from them? Can you sell them premium products? For example, now, let's say, for example, you have Valentine's Day, you have a package. So that means that they would pay more ordinarily for something that they would ordinarily get maybe 8,000 naira. They would pay 12,000 naira, but it's a package. It's not just the cake. You have wine inside.
Yeah.
You have something else inside. You have others. But the point is, they are going to pay more. That means that you are upselling to them, selling them premium products that make a greater contribution to your profits. You also have cross-selling, analyzing what they buy and what they are offering, and offering them complementary products.
Just
Right.
like we gave an example yesterday that we say it's a hack. If you operate a salon, you already have a salon, you have your clientele, your customers who come to make their hair in your salon. You may decide to start selling
Hair
clothes
products.
or hair products, or clothes. It's something that you already have the market for the making of hair, and now you are bringing in clothes or other products for them to buy. So that's a typical example of that.
Still on that, you could also come from the angle of, so you make hair. I make hair. I have a client list, right? I have a client, a very, very huge clientele. What can I give them that makes them spend more money when they come to my salon? You could actually start making your own products. That means that if you were buying shampoo, conditioner, and all of that from outside at a cheaper rate, you could charge them more for washing their hair with your product. You know that your product is superior to the other products that you were using, right? So you offer them more products or complementary products. No, complementary is you're giving out. So let's say, for example, you have clients who buy a certain amount. Let's say they buy worth 100,000 naira, products worth 100,000 naira. You can now say, oh, for buying products worth 100,000 naira, come for a free hair. Maybe you want to weave all back or something. Come for a free hair day or something like that. Offer them a little bit more so that they can come and spend more at your place. Basically, that's what we're saying.
So that you make more profit.
Exactly.
And you have to buy more effectively. One of the most obvious routes to increasing your profitability is to buy more effectively. It makes sense to review your supplier base regularly and see if you can buy the same raw materials more cheaply or efficiently. However, try to ensure that you maintain quality at the same time. This is one thing that you made a reference yesterday, that for instance you buy your raw materials from Wuse Market, let's say for example, and you now know that there is another market in Maraba. So you patronize Maraba and discover that, okay, I'm getting these things cheaper at Maraba as opposed to what I used to get at Wuse. And even if you, after factoring into cost of transportation, you save more when you buy at Maraba. So those are some of the things you consider. Don't just because you are used to a particular supplier, you just get stuck with that particular person or supplier and say, no, I'm not going to change supplier. No, try to carry out market survey. Know the prices when they change, or where you can get the same product but in a reduced with a discount, so to say. It helps improve your profit. Just like we said yesterday, anytime you try to save a cost and you get the standard that which you used to get in that same amount, it goes directly to add to your profit. It is straightforward, no two ways about that.
All right, another way you can do this is to cut waste. How can you cut waste? You walk into the shop today. Let's say you have a shop. You walk into the shop. They are not using the lights, and the light is on. Nobody is inside the room. The light is on. You're wasting power. So you can try as much as possible to say, okay, all equipments, as far as they're not going to be used, turn them off. Light, turn it off if you're not. There are some places you go that they leave the light on. In my house, my mother will beat you that you're wasting money. Do you know how much electricity tariffs are right now? It's crazy. So you leave the lights on. No. So try as much as you can to find ways to cut cost. Unused services that you're wasting money on, reduce it. Let's say, for example, you run a certain maybe a strategy company, and you have, let's say you subscribe data, 50,000 naira data, but you find that we don't even exhaust the 50,000 naira data, 50,000 naira worth of data. So can you reduce it to 30,000 and see if you guys would exhaust it for the month or the 3 months, or for however duration you're using it for? So is it possible to reduce, find ways to cut down cost, things that you overlooked before? Find ways to cut down the waste, and you'd see that all of a sudden your cost of production is reducing and you can make more money moving forward. Another way to increase your profitability is to concentrate your sales efforts. Work with your best customers, is what I was saying. How a client calls and the person is wasting your time. There are some that will shout at you, give you the stress of your life, and still not pay you for that stress. They still don't pay you. So basically, you can usually put your customers and the products or services that they buy into one of these 4 categories: high sales, high profit. That is one category. High sales, low profit. Low sales, high profit. Low sales, low profit. It makes sense to encourage customers that provide high sales and high profit, right? You can also significantly boost your productivity by nurturing customers that provide high profit on low sales. Yes, if customers are providing low profits from high sales, you maybe revise pricing to generate more revenue from them. If customers are generating both low sales and low profits, it's time to say, see you next time. See you when I see you. It makes sense to do that. When you're having customers who generate both low sales and low profits, it's considerably a waste of time with such customers. So you can say bye-bye to those customers. Yes. Another way you can do this is to find new best customers. Find new best customers. Make a judgment on expanding your customer base by finding new customers who have a similar profile to your already high net worth customers, right? Or your existing profitable customers. So if you are sure you have covered your existing market as much as you can, then consider moving into new markets as well. So let's say you're a baker, you have a lot of real estate clients. You've gotten through that space. Expand your customer base, right? Move away from real estate. Go into something else, maybe restaurants, for example, right? Go into something else, maybe forex companies as well. So try as much as you can to sow your royal oats. Sow it. Yes.
All right. So stepping back regularly and also questioning whether there are more efficient ways to reach your goals is no bad thing in business. For example, you may always produce a particular type of product at a specific time in the month, but would it ease your cash flow if you produced, shipped, and invoiced it earlier or later in the month? This is just telling you that you have to be studying the way your productivity or your production moves, how the market moves It's the product you sell. For instance, now, if you are in a location where you know majority of your customers are civil servant or are monthly salary earners, you know that you certainly make more sales towards the end of the month. So there is no need for you to make product that you know you cannot sell in the middle of the month. There is no much market for it. You have to wait until end of the month, then you produce such product. Look at what products you can sell within the middle of the month, so that you now channel your energy on that particular product. It's just hook your money. You just trap your funds, your product, your working capital. If you just go and produce what you know you're not going to sell now until at later time, look at the market, explore opportunities, and it's go a long way in helping you.
Another thing you can do in boosting productivity is measuring. What do I mean by measurement, right? Measure your operational efficiency on an ongoing basis, right? So, for example, you could regularly monitor how many employee hours it takes to complete or perform specific tasks or provide specific services.
Yeah.
So, let's say it takes 4 employees 5 hours to, let's say, create noodles, for example, like make it from scratch. And then next week, it takes those same 5 employees 8 hours to produce that same amount. So you have to look at what exactly went down, what exactly is causing the delay.
Yeah.
Why is it taking this long? That means that you're using the equipment for longer, you're using electricity for longer. Then they will also be more stressed in terms of the employees. Their energy would be depleted at that point in time. So you need to start measuring things like that to ensure that the quicker you eliminate those inefficiencies, the more profitable your productivity can get.
All right, I think this is the best time for us to stop, because we have exhausted our time. And you should also understand that all businesses can minimize wastage costs and still remain competitive. That is for sure.
Yes. So improving your business profitability can help you to reduce costs, increase your turnover and your productivity, and help you plan for change and growth. Try as much as you can. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Every business has to take risks to start making money. If you don't take risks, then you won't. There's no radical person in this world. There's no person in this world that is a rich man today that didn't take risks. So you need to, even though risks come with information, you have to be informed about that risk that you want to take.
Calculated risk.
Exactly. Look at the risk to reward ratio. You also look at market surveys. You can use social media to help you find out what the market, your customers are saying. You can use so many different platforms.
KPI, key performance index.
Exactly. There's so many ways to check some of these things. So try as much as you can to not be in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. Expand your mind and see how your business can actually soar. All right?
You're going to make more money. That's for sure. Keep listening to VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. Now you have a voice. Business around town.
Yes, when you start making that money, come and sell your business here. Okay?
Yeah, of course.
Say it's Gesira and Aliyu that taught me this, and then you're coming to give back as your CSR. Coming to give back to us, all right? Thank you so much. We'll make a comeback tomorrow. Same time at 9:30, immediately after Uncle Fine Boy does his thing, what fine boys do. Then, yes, Business Around Town will come up from 9:30 to 10:30. And then the Crazy Bunch will take over all the way down to 11:30. So, good morning to you, and have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. My name is Gesire.
And my name is Aliu Doma.
Good morning.